Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're looking at something that is fundamentally changing how we work. We're talking about scaling marketing ops workflows. If you've ever felt completely bogged down by that tedious, soul-crushing grind of weekly reporting, oh, you are absolutely going to love this. We're going to follow a marketing operations manager named Ian and look at exactly how he uses an AI coworker to completely scale his workflows and take his time back.
Now, I want you to imagine something for a second. What if you had an incredibly reliable, super smart junior colleague, and their entire job was just to proactively gather all your data and prep your week before you even log on? Imagine they start their shift on Sunday night, quietly organizing total chaos into perfect clarity while you're, busy fending off the Sunday scaries. So when Monday morning finally hits, you aren't scrambling for numbers, you're immediately making strategic decisions. Well, that is the exact reality we're exploring today, with Claude acting as this autonomous coworker.
Okay, let's dive into this comparison because this is really the core of our explainer today. In his role, Ian's job is to help the team market better using data. And every single week, he has to put together this massive, comprehensive metrics review. The old way of doing this, it meant painstakingly pulling data manually from half a dozen different places. I mean, we've all been there, right? It's a massive time sink. But the new way? Ian just drops in the week's context, and Claude acts as that reliable assistant, stepping in to pull and verify all that data automatically. And here's the absolute best part. By tracking the exact hours saved from avoiding that manual process, Ian can definitively prove the immense value of this workflow to his leadership. It totally frees him up to actually steer the narrative rather than just formatting spreadsheets all day.
So you might be wondering, how does this reliable assistant actually function without constantly needing you to look over its shoulder? Well, it runs on a system of connectors and skills. Think of a skill as a specialized function that captures a very specific business process. In Ian's setup, he has a skill that preps a review, a completely separate skill that proofreads it, and another skill that manages action items. By packaging these tasks into these distinct skills, it ensures the workflow happens exactly the same way, with the exact same high standard of output quality every single week. It basically takes a one-off prompt and turns it into a permanent, repeatable capability.
Let's move to the timeline and see how this actually builds. Here's what that Sunday evening automated prep work looks like in practice. And remember, this is entirely hands-off for Ian. First, a scheduled task kicks off, and the AI reads last week's review doc and the meeting transcript, just to get the right context. Second, it actually goes in and checks Slack to see what the sales team is currently focusing on. And third, it queries the data warehouse for the fresh numbers. Without Ian having to lift a single finger, the AI leaves behind a neat little folder containing all the updated numbers and a few suggested focus areas for the upcoming week. It's like magic.
And that brings us to a pivotal human-in-the-loop moment. It's Monday morning, Ian logs on, opens up his interface, and types, "Good morning, Claude, how did the prep go?" And waiting right there for him are all the key takeaways and suggested focus areas from all that Sunday night data crunching. See, Claude is phenomenal at pulling the numbers, but it absolutely requires the human expert to take the wheel. The rote work is done, now the strategic work begins. Which leads us straight into steering the narrative, because every week in marketing ops is different, right? Sometimes you're responding to a sudden sales priority, or maybe it's a massive product launch. In the specific week outlined in our source, the company is at the quarter turn. So Ian tells his AI coworker, "Let's focus on Q2 plans this week. Can you review the QBR doc?" He drops in that quarterly business review document and explicitly tells the AI what to lead with. The AI has all the raw data, sure, but Ian provides the absolutely critical business context.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the system handles the unexpected. Because a huge fear with AI is that it might just make things up when the data doesn't perfectly match. But check out this scenario. The sales team did a tiny reorg, which means the marketing reporting structure no longer matches the new sales reporting structure. But instead of guessing or forcing the numbers to fit, the prep skill is actually designed to flag the gap. It stops and asks Ian how to handle the discrepancy. And this is exactly how you maintain consistent output quality across the entire marketing department, by ensuring the system asks questions instead of making assumptions.
So Ian sees this flagged issue and tells Claude, "Good call, please follow the sales team." And this right here is where the proofreading skill kicks in. This is a specialized function that double-checks the work. It literally traces every single number in the drafted document back to a verified data source. For anyone in operations or analytics, you know your reputation is built on accuracy. There is no room for error. Because of this proofreading skill, Ian can walk into a meeting feeling total confidence about what his team's reporting.
Okay, once the data is locked in, we move to the collaborative drafting process. And listen, structure here is everything. Step 1, the first draft the AI provides is intentionally just the metrics table and the headlines.
Ian wants to make sure the outline is totally perfect before they waste any time filling it in. Once Ian approves those headlines, step 2 begins. He tells the AI to expand them. The AI adds supporting details and examples to help the team understand the main points. But crucially, and this is step 3, the skill is instructed to keep those agreed-upon headlines exactly the same. It's a highly controlled, incredibly efficient writing process.
And this brilliantly illustrates the real power of an autonomous coworker. Once everything looks right, Ian literally just types, "ship it." From that one single approved narrative, the AI instantly finalizes a whole suite of deliverables. It creates the final review document for the team to read. It actually writes the Slack message for the team channel. It takes any follow-ups and turns them into Asana tasks, so absolutely nothing falls through the cracks. And it creates a specialized one-slide summary just for leadership. One command, 4 distinct outputs. When Ian tracks the hours saved just on this drafting phase alone, the value of this workflow becomes completely undeniable to his higher-ups.
Let's look a little bit closer at that leadership slide, because honestly, it is a masterclass in executive communication. The AI takes all that complex data, the QBR context, and the massive full team document, and it distills it down into just 3 simple bullet points. What changed, why it changed, and what to do about it. It knows exactly how to format the information for a busy executive audience. That saves Ian the immense mental energy of having to switch context and rewrite the whole update himself.
But right here is where this entire workflow goes from being a cool personal productivity hack to a massive organizational upgrade. At the end of the process, Ian asks Claude what they learned this week that should go into the skill for next week. Remember that new sales team structure? The specific corrections Ian had to make? All of it gets saved. Claude updates the underlying skill. And because it's a defined skill, Ian can now share this updated process with the entire marketing department. That means anyone on his team can run it, benefit from Ian's previous corrections, get the exact same high-quality results, and dive deeper into the data themselves. It's a real game changer.
Which leaves us with this final thought for today. We've seen how a single marketing ops manager can take a tedious reporting chore and turn it into a highly tuned, automated, and shareable capability. By treating AI as a reliable coworker that preps, proofreads, and actually learns from its mistakes, the quality of the entire department's output just skyrockets. So I'm going to leave you with this. If your personal manual workflows could suddenly learn from every correction and be shared instantly as a foolproof skill, what could your entire department achieve by next week? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this sparks some incredible ideas for your own team's workflows.